Hey, sorry, Matt. Frank, can you mute yourself? There's a little background.
Oh, okay, all right, hold on.
This is what coming.
So the site change stuff that's on here is hoods and a walk-in cooler. Is there anything external that we could look at, that sort of thing? Is there anything that we should be?
You saying from outside the building standpoint?
Yes.
Yeah, not at this point. Ideally, we want to take, and we're reviewing, and I'll certainly share that information. But there's companies that sell the walk-in cooler walls that you can have set inside the facility, and we have that one back room. Let's see which one it would be. It would be like if you walk in the front entrance behind the bathroom. There's a room that all it has in it right now is a little sink and a little dishwasher. And we'd be looking to enclose that as the walk-in cooler. And we could do it right inside the facility without having to do any additions on the back end of the building.
So right now, where it says office, is that it would be in that tucked in that corner?
Yes. And what it boiled down to is it literally half the price of what we would be looking to do. From an outdoor addition and build with the concrete necessary and things like that.
As far as, we don't really give any approval for them.
Are there any other changes to the site itself?
No, not really. I mean, getting the hoods in, obviously we've got to hang those. But other than that, everything is set as is.
Okay, we will need to see this, what the proposed signage will look like when
Sure.
we get to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can make sure to do that.
Or any lighting on the exterior or landscaping, that sort of thing, when you could really, maybe, when it's more developed, we could look at that.
Yeah, of course.
Garbage, where it can be stored. Garbage.
He's got that right here.
Mm-hmm.
Were you going to change the color at all of the exterior?
I think at some point it wasn't in the initial plans, but I'm happy to, send over the color of the paint that we would use to kind of match the theme that we have in Fredonia.
We'd like to see that. Yeah, that is something that we usually like to. take a
Yeah,
look.
absolutely. Let me make that in my notes and I can send that color scheme over to you.
So, man, I have a question for you.
Sure.
On the large drawing that we have, the kind of the site plan, you have it shown as a cooler pad being on the exterior. Is that not happening then?
Yeah, I once again, erring on the side of the cost and the ability to do something much quicker. Yeah, we would not be doing that. That could be crossed off if we're approved to do it inside.
I have a question. It's Rebecca over
Oh,
here. Timeline wise, what's your anticipated timeline? I know you're doing Westfield now, and then I don't know.
I would tell you that I'm in deep, deep trouble if I'm not open by the Super Bowl. So, Westfield, I'm fortunate that it's an existing operation. I'm keeping all the employees. So it really shouldn't be too challenging of a rollout other than changing the product over. Right after that, we're going to diligently work on Dunkirk. So really it just depends on when the construction internally would be done.
And this is a joint effort with tacos. So there's going to be pizza and
Yeah.
running out of the same building.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So, and everything that you see in there includes the equipment that they would need as well.
Yeah, my buddy owns it.
Okay.
Matt, not that I don't want to see Lita's Pizza come into Dunkirk, but I'm glad I don't have to drive to get my taco.
Absolutely. We kind of looked at each other and we're like, we don't really compete. If you want tacos, you want tacos. And if you want pizza, you want pizza. And, what's better than doing it out of the same facility with some shared costs?
Yeah.
Well, I would say my suggestion, since it's already mid-November, we've basically got the December and January meeting. If you're planning on opening by February, mainly the planning board, we're concerned, like Ed and Chris had said, with signage, colors,
Yep.
landscaping, and your trash disposal area
Site.
Okay.
and site lighting.
Okay, got it.
That's mainly what we would be approving.
No problem. I mean, I can get you the additional information on that. I'm not going to touch the landscaping. The trash is currently on wheels, so I mean, obviously that can be, moved anywhere as it stands. And then I can get you the information you would need on the signage, the site lighting, and if we were to paint that blue that's currently in the building to something that once again matches our color scheme, I'm happy to provide that.
In regards to the dumpster or trash, generally there'd have to be like an enclosure of some sort, it would have to be fenced in.
Sure. Okay.
So essentially, if you come back with a ready to go site plan, then we can give you approval. Because really for the hood and the cooler,
If it's all gonna be internal, basically, I think everything would pretty much just go through Glenn.
Yeah.
On what's on paper here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is my first time I've ever had to do this, so I'm very unfamiliar with the process. So I appreciate, learning a little bit more about it. Yeah, I'm happy to come back at a future meeting and with the update.
There's a little dumpster already on the side there.
Yeah.
As I look at it, there's a little dumpster on the side.
yeah, I
So-
do see that.
Yeah, so if you put an enclosure there with a
Sure.
dumpster, wouldn't that meet the criteria?
Right, and especially if you're removing the cooler pad, you could probably get it closer to the building.
Sure. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that.
I would, yeah, from what I'm looking at, I think you can do that too.
John, Frank, you guys have anything else?
No, I'm in agreement with everything that's been said so far.
John said no. Glenn, do you have anything you wanted to?
No, I think you covered everything on the site. It's a unique site. It's got a lot more lawn, but it's very open compared to most of the projects we see.
And 2 separate parking areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would imagine
You want your taco to touch your pizza.
that would be reserved for like employees off of Central. It'd be just easier.
Maybe, yeah,
Obviously.
deliveries and
or
stuff.
vice versa.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
But, so there's no really approval then.
yeah, would you make a motion to table something?
I'd say make a motion to table it,
Yeah, I'll-
to wait for signage and. other
I'll just make a motion then at this time that we table the site plan review until those items that we named can be presented, essentially, any color or finishes on the exterior of the building, site lighting, signage, perhaps landscaping, dumpster enclosure, that sort of thing. And as soon as you can meet and then make a decision.
Yeah, no worries. That sounds good.
And Matt, I can follow up with you after to make sure we're on the same page with what we need, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. That sounds great.
I'll second Ed's motion.
Okay, all in favor of tabling the motion?
I,
Aye.
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 Thank
Alright,
you.
That's unanimous. All right, thank you.
thanks, Matt.
Bye now.
I have no objection. When these projects are in a hurry like that, if we did it by email too.
That's fine.
Shared signage, I don't have an issue with
Right.
that if you want to handle it like that.
Yeah, and it being in the winter, I don't know how much the exterior stuff's gonna be happening
Right,
anyway. They're
it's
probably,
not,
no.
other than the sign.
Maybe,
the sign
yeah.
might go up.
Sign,
Right.
That's about it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's something we could always do, email or just do it. Could we even do it after they were open, right?
Yeah.
And then they come back to us in the spring.
Yep.
When it's time to renovate and stuff. Okay, next on site plan review was Wells Fieldbrook. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
Good. So I believe we have Manav that just joined us too. Manav, can you hear us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Manav Farhan. I'm with EMG. We're the design engineers for Wells Dunkirk ice cream plant out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're looking at the maps. We got little expansion going on. You can tell us about?
Yeah, what we're, our current wastewater treatment operation has basically been run to the ground by the last owners for the last 15, 20 years. So we're having a difficult time remaining in compliance with the city permits, discharge permit. So it is time to put an upgraded facility in there. We've identified EMG as our preferred technology provider. I think you guys have a layout, but I do have a little bit more information here on what we're looking at doing. But basically, it's a whole new facility in the would be the northeast corner of the plant on a railroad bed there.
Hey, Mike, let me know if you'd like me to just describe the system and the location and how it functions.
You know what, you're the guy that's the expert in that, absolutely.
Where's Main
I
Street?
think that'd be nice. Do you guys have, do you mind if the Nov shares that with you?
Not at all,
To kind
no.
of give you an idea of
Yeah,
what we're
please.
doing?
You guys mind if I share my screen?
Nope.
No.
All right, let me know if you can see this.
Sheridan's not a host.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
good.
we can see it.
Yep. Yeah.
You need to roll it up a little bit.
Yeah, we could zoom up and up.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Would you like me to give you a quick description of the wastewater treatment plant and how it would work?
Yes,
Okay, so our wastewater treatment plant is a biological anaerobic wastewater treatment system. We're going to take wastewater from the plant's rotary drum screen. It's going to come into our equalization tank, which is this blue tank right here. It's a 250,000 gallon equalization tank, 32 feet in diameter, 43 feet high. The equalization tank will help us control the flow rate, the pH, the temperature, and nutrients of the wastewater stream. From the equalization tank, wastewater will go into initially 2 digester units, these 2 green tanks. They'll sit on a 16 by 16 foot concrete pads. As Mr. Gusick said, they're going to be located towards the north end of the property, northwest corner of the property to be exact. And we're going to start with 2 digesters. These 2 pads here are for expansion down the line as the plant increases capacity and adds production lines. This here is a pump house. It will house pumps, tanks, instruments, control panels. The pump house itself is 35 feet by 85 feet in dimension. The digester pads are 16 by 16 each. The digester tanks are 14 feet in diameter. The length of the digester pads on the western face of the building, this here, will be 70 feet, 71 feet total. The digester walls will be 19 feet 7 inches from the property line. This EQ tank will be 16 feet 8 inches from the other property line. We're going to treat the wastewater, reduce the organics, reduce the BOD5, control the pH, and then discharge a steady waste stream to the city of Dunkirk wastewater treatment sewer. Somewhere around here is the discharge point. It'll go to the sewer pipe. Do you gentlemen do you have any questions for me?
Yes, Manaf, do you have the height of the tank?
Yes. The digester tanks are 35 feet high. The equalization tank is 43 feet high.
And that is, that includes the railing.
Correct. The railing, the hand railing is 40 inches. And it's going to be on both tanks. I,
I got a question.
go ahead.
Actually, question. So are you moving the equalization tank from the current place where it is? And is the expansion units, are those rebuilds?
So this is the current equalization tank right now. It
I
will
can see
be,
that.
it will be, eventually this will be put out of use. And this is a new equalization tank that we're gonna construct.
Okay, got it.
And
And then the expansion units, those are completely new?
I apologize, what did you say?
The expansion units, are those completely new?
They are. All this work over here is new.
Okay, so what I'm looking at currently is going to be completely changed.
Correct. Let me just stop sharing here and share something else.
The whole wastewater process will be decommitted. The old system will be decommitted and processed.
Can you gentlemen see my screen now?
Yeah, there you go, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a satellite view of what is existing right now.
And I can see that on my iPad. So I got that even though I'm audio. I can see
Right.
that.
So this equipment is existing right now. This is the equalization tank.
Mm-hmm.
The new equipment will be laid in here, in this triangle.
So you're actually getting a little bit further away from the New York Central lines than you currently are?
I believe we're going to be a little bit closer because the central lines are right here.
Okay.
And so we're going to be putting stuff right here, which will be closer. The closest distance now, you see this closest distance here, we're going to be over here.
Okay, I see.
And just to clarify, the railing on the EQ tank will be 40 inches above the 43 feet.
So almost 44 feet. And the existing ones are, I don't know what you got here, just got elevation.
I think our existing EQ tank is about 35 feet. Well, that's the rim, and then it's got a dome on it, so
This would be a little bit higher than the
a
existing.
little higher.
We're still within.
Now, the maximum height is 35. Consider that to be a building. And that this is a piece of equipment,
Okay.
but if you consider it a building, it would be entire buildings.
Glenn, did this already go through the zoning board?
It did not
Did not.
need a zoning variance, and it, a 10-foot minimum
Okay,
setback requirements to non-residential railroad tracks.
And it meets that.
Yeah, because he said it's
16 and
16.
20, I believe.
Okay.
16 and
And to the north is a concrete wall.
Yeah, there's a concrete wall over here, correct, on this side.
From Main Street and from Lampier on Route 60, unless you're looking for it, it's very difficult to see. It's-
And this is something that no one would really even see. No residential. It's going right next to existing, pretty much.
Correct.
Where it's located is pretty much the only people that can see it is the people that live on Monroe, and they're buffered by trees and bushes. I mean, the train passes closer to them than the sight line of the.
There's
of the
one.
tank.
Yeah.
how
I know.
how tall is that concrete wall there anyways? Is it?
I mean, you barely notice it as you're going back. As you're driving through there, you barely notice it anyway.
Well, it's gotta be 8 on the rail level.
Glenn, is there anything in particular you want us to pay attention to, or?
This is just, it's a review compared to. We did have an environmental assessment form filled out, if you wanted to do a seeker approval. And another, the electrical substation, I just recently received a speedy stormwater report for the entire facility, so they do have an overall scheme for stormwater that doesn't involve this project.
Okay.
I don't have any
So
questions.
we don't need to make an action on their assessment form. Just the preliminary site plan. Correct?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Well, I believe you would need to accept the planning board as the lead agent on this.
Yeah, Yep.
And then do a negative declaration.
that's correct. Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept the preliminary site plan and also and also accept the planning board as lead agent for the environmental assessment
I'll second.
with a negative declaration.
Ed's got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone against? Nope, unanimous. Okay,
Aye.
Aye.
thank you. Gotcha. Okay, so. We're all set with that then? Thank you.
Thank you.
Being in the
Thank you.
DPW department, the wastewater plant will greatly appreciate this project.
Yeah, this is gonna be exciting project.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Take care.
But if you need anything from me, you can just contact Jake. I'm Jake, I think I talked to you.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys need anything from us, then please reach out. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night. I won't hold that against you. He went to Notre Dame. Said I won't hold that against him.
Who did? That guy did? How'd you know? Oh, okay.
We're good, right?
What do we have here? We've got, anything new
No, we might,
on the
we
horizon? or-
might need to get a meeting in before Christmas if Central Avenue moves along. Is that correct? Clint? You think?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm meeting with the architect and
Central Avenue?
we
Did we get a, I'm sorry.
Frank, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if we got a potential heads up on a potential sign on a proposed business on Central.
A sign?
yes, we might,
That's what I think.
based on that business.
There is a potential.
we had the application for tonight's meeting for 416
Yes,
Central.
Yep.
They're putting in a redemption center and take out restaurant.
yeah.
But they needed to get a survey before they did their site plan
Right.
submission.
And we also
They're doing
have-
that through,
You hear them?
that's going through the planning board, right?
Where
Yeah, in the recruiting station.
Draft real.
repeat
Yeah.
rights papers used to be.
What's gonna happen?
Okay,
A couple.
Frank, that's what you're talking
businesses
about,
were
right?
going. One guy
that's an odd
was
side.
a Turner, and then someone
That's
with
where
a
you were talking about,
restaurant,
Frank?
so-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's that business?
Yeah.
Potential business is going in there?
Potential redemption center and restaurant, two different businesses.
Okay,
There are three, it's divided into three spaces. No.
yeah, and that's been a restaurant, I'm sure it's still got all the stuff in there.
Oh, I'm sure it's not any good.
Yeah, but it's got, I bet for kitchen and probably got the hoods in there, I imagine, right? Sort of thing.
So I guess
There's
the
still
point,
some planning.
the point is, there could be, if they can get it in time, we'll have a meeting in December, but I will
Yeah.
let you know.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay,
Right.
All right.
adjourn. Aye, all in favor?
Aye.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You go.
4:30, good.
These Zoom things are a thing of the past. So.
Well, I was just reading that water treatment book too. It's a good one.